the ambit of this study is to talk about resiliency in the face of climate change. And this relates to planes and trains. We had situations at Christmas time where people were trapped on trains and planes for more than 10 and 12 hours. And I know the weather was severe, but it's Canada. In the winter, the weather is often severe. Surely we have to have emergency protocols in place to evacuate a plane or a train and not keep people held hostage without food, without drink, without access to working toilets, in unconscionable conditions for such an extended period of time.
You're making a lot of sense, Senator. And if you think I'm going to argue with you, I am not going to argue with you. In fact, I'm here to tell you I am going to further clarify the rules to help us get us there.
It's not just rules, though. We need to actually have emergency protocols in place. We need to have the training and the equipment. I mean, because as it stands, the airlines and the train, and VIA will always be able to say, well, we didn't have the personnel, we didn't have this, it wasn't safe to do that. But we have to make sure that there are protocols in place. I mean, I think we got off very lucky this Christmas. There could have been a major, health crisis if somebody on those planes had had a heart attack, gone into labor. I mean, I find it unfathomable that in Vancouver, it's impossible to, slide people out on an emergency slide or take them down the steps if that's what is required to evacuate a plane in a time of crisis.
Again, Senator, the airlines need to have standard operating procedures in place to ensure that the protocols you're describing are in place, and certainly VIA is reviewing. They hired a third party to review what had happened and to make sure that the third party will offer recommendations to updating their protocols. And the one thing about airlines, since they are not government owned, unlike VIA, what we can do is make sure that we hold the rules in place so the airlines, to avoid being found in violation of those rules, that they create these protocols. And let me just add, by the way, the Canadian Transportation Agency yesterday announced that there were 2 fines issued to 2 separate airlines after a review taking place, one to Sunwing, one to WestJet. I think either of them were over $100,000 fine. So the Canadian Transportation Agency has done some review, and there were some fines issued, and CTA issued the press release about them yesterday.